What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. Tonight I want to go over a couple of charts with you, go through the daily process of looking for trading opportunities in our session window. First off, I'd like to apologize for the inconsistency as far as uploads on YouTube are concerned. I have a pretty busy life, and I'll just be honest with you. This YouTube channel is not my first priority. I love you guys, and I'm here to help, but I can't do this all of the time. It's just not sustainable for me to pump out videos every day or even every week sometimes, you know what I mean? But I appreciate the continued love and support, the feedback, the subscriptions, the comments, emails, all of that, right? We've been pretty busy in the Discord. It's taking some time to get it up and running, but we'll get there. Have faith, be patient. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, here we're looking at the DJ30 chart from today, which was January 22nd, 2025. Now, when I got up and I looked at my chart, I noticed that we had this area of potentially trapped volume at the high of the day. And so I was watching this market. I'm always watching the indexes, all right? Most of my work is done on the indexes, specifically DJ30 and NAS 100, but primarily the DJ30. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know I'm always trading these indexes, okay? I've gotten sort of used to it, and that can sort of bite you in the ass. At least it did for me today. I was too focused on the DJ30, missed an easy trade on the NASDAQ, but it is what it is. There's always another opportunity. There's really no such thing as missing out. But here, I wanted to just point this out to you, okay? We had a day 3 after 3 days of breakout traders long have been triggered into this market, okay? We were up at the high of the week. When we zoom in here, I want to point some things out to you. First off, I hope you can see this M formation here. I'm always looking for that M formation. If that M formation is forming going into 9:30, like on the dot, then I usually have a trade right around 9:30, the opening bell, okay? If that M or that W isn't there, I'm going to wait until 9:40, 9:45. I'm going to come back and see where we're at and what we're doing, okay? In this case, I have sort of time-stamped the candles, right? You can see, if we follow this line, this is the 9:29 candle, all right? And that bangs to the downside, then to the upside. 9:30 candle bangs right back up there and comes back down, all right? Reaching back up into this previous high, okay? Anytime when you get to your charts before the session, right, in the morning, you need to mark off the previous low and the previous high, because that's our box that price is within. And then we want to ask ourselves, are we working the high or are we working the low? Well, since we put in this low and this high, we've been working back up into that high, okay? And here we work back up into it before the session. The session starts, we work back up into the high, and the market rolls over and fails here right at the open, okay? And that gave me my opportunity to get in at this engulfing candle right at 9:30. That gave me my entry. This trade was less than 5 minutes long. I did everything I came to do. I exited when this blue candle right here came above this purple candle. I closed the trade down. I hung around for a little bit thinking I was going to get back in. I got shook out of a trade somewhere in here. I think I probably shorted right around here and just jumped out when that wick came against it or whatever, but not a major loss. Anytime I put in a trade, I close the trade. If I'm going to re-enter, most likely I will re-enter with significantly smaller size, all right, because I don't want to give anything back. But if I do, I'm wanting to severely limit that risk, right? Now, here we're looking at the NASDAQ, all right? This was a pretty easy trade in hindsight. Sometimes it's harder to catch these things in the moment, right? But I want you to just pay attention to this chart, use it for future reference, all right? This is what the entire day looked like on the 1 minute chart of the NASDAQ today, okay? You can see we have this creeping trend upwards, okay, but it's a very narrow range. Anytime the indexes are trading throughout Asia and London, going into New York with a narrow range, I'm watching these things, okay? I'm preparing for liftoff or whatever, right? So again, we get to our charts a little bit before 9:30, say 9 o'clock. When you get to your charts before the session, okay, and here I've highlighted 9:30 to 11 o'clock with that yellow rectangle right there, okay? Now, before we get to the start of the session, which is right here, we want to mark off our most recent low and our most recent high, okay? When we do that, when we get to our session window, we want to be asking ourselves, again, are we working the high or are we working the low? Well, when we get to our session open, we are trading back down into traders who have went long in this market, right? We have traded down against the trend on the dot, on like as far as the day is concerned, right? And so I want you to see that. Now, again, when we timestamp these candles, you can see that right before the session opened, here's our W going into the session, okay? Here's a 3 push pattern back down into this previous low, right? 9:30 comes, we get this big engulfment candle, huge candle to start the session, 9:31, okay? Now that might be hard to trade. You might miss that initial big burst at 9:30, okay? If that happens, come back at 9:40, come back at 9:45 and see what's going on, because as you can see, we popped off right here, then we come back down here and put in this W formation for the pullback or whatever, a corrective movement here for the continuation upwards, right? And we could have gotten in right here, 9:41. We could have waited till up here or even got this pullback, right? But that's an easy trade on the NASDAQ if you know what you're looking for and you can be patient. You can sit on your hands and let the market bring the trades to you, okay? So I just wanted to cover those charts. London is about to open in about 20 minutes. We have a potential first red day trading opportunity on the FTSE or the UK 100, all right? That's an index that's primarily going to be traded in the London session, right? I'm also watching the DJ30. Tomorrow I'm watching the US dollar, Swiss franc, all right? And I'm also watching Bitcoin, all right? A tip with the, like if you go look at the UK 100 chart, a tip for the first red day trades, because if you go look at that chart, you'll see that we are actually at, I believe anyway, all-time highs. But we're at the high of the month, the high of the week, all that good stuff. That's where we look for that first red day. That's where they have like the greatest potential for to be big trades, is at the high of the month. There we get our first red day, right? You follow me? All right. So anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.